Hey guys, so you can see my sleepy guy, and I've got my plushie, and of course I've got Minus Godzilla in front of me. This is what my setup looks like when I'm in therapy, except I don't usually knock Sleepy over too much. I'm sorry, baby. But because I have a new desk tray, or bed tray I should say, you're sitting in the little groove that's my iPad vertical, so that's why you can see all of me. Anyway, it's my birthday. Look alive, I'm 45. And I just came out of therapy with Laura. And something really important I have to work on is I need to work on pivoting myself. In moments when I get triggered, when I'm having like my anxiety, my PTSD is acting up, when I just have those moments where triggers come out of nowhere, or things are going a little too good, so my brain decides there's going to be something bad here. We got to look for the bad things, or else it's going to hurt. Can't do that. I got to pivot away. I got to think of things that are happier, like memories of Elizabeth. Think about Godzilla, think about music, think about things that make me happy. Go watch funny videos on YouTube. Go watch Godzilla clips. Do things that trigger dopamine instead of sitting there marinating in cortisol. And another thing is to do the stop exercise, which is, stop, take deep breaths, observe your surroundings, which basically means grounding yourselves, and then proceed with caution. So that's the stop exercise. So grounding is 5 senses. What do you see, hear, feel, smell, taste, those kind of things. But the hardest one that I'm struggling with is that my dad's voice is stuck in my mind. And so no matter what I'm thinking, he's always blasting over everything else. And I need to get him out of my mind. But it's so hard when I'm exposed to him all the time. And last Friday, he got his feeding tube pulled out. It wasn't surgical. The gastroenterologist just pulled it out. Just yanked it right out of him like a piece of spaghetti or something. And the routine is changed again, which that's difficult for me because, hello, I'm autistic. And so now I have to feed him and give him meds in the morning and then again at 11 a.m. So first thing in the morning when I get up, if I'm up by 9 o'clock or a little after. So that's a change in routine that was kind of dropped on my head. I was not asked, I was told, and my mom and my sister had a really big fight on Friday, which really triggered me because yelling triggers me. Yelling is a trigger. When I hear people yelling angrily, it's a trigger. Not just yelling because, yo, Bob across the street, yo, like that. But like people yelling, like, why do you gotta be like this? No, stop it. I don't like you, blah, blah. When people are arguing. Sounds of arguing are a trigger. So I had to deal with that, which I hugged my plushie and I imagined I was under a force field. It was very spontaneous. But another thing I have to work on very hard is noticing when my dad is in my head making me feel like crap. Because I tend to notice that I'm doing it and then just continue because, well, I screwed up, so maybe I deserve it, and no, I don't. Laura tells me, no, I don't deserve that kind of crap. I never did and never will and never should. So I have to work on that. I have to work on my self-talk. I have to work on, glimmers, writing down things that make me grateful and, celebrating my small wins. So there's that. And I just got to keep on with the self-care. So that's how I am beginning my life at 45 is more self-care. I got to try harder. And instead of focusing on how I've screwed up and not done so well, I gotta focus on what did I do that worked and keep doing it. So keep on keeping on. Look at my sleepy. Isn't he cute?